This frame it gives us another perspective on the presentation of PowerPoint animations. Now, in a previous demo, we looked at this with a much larger presentation and the instructor in a smaller component of the screen so that we had plenty of white space to deal with very, very complex illustrations. In this case, we can get away with an illustration. In fact, it's quite appropriate for this explanation to use a less complicated graphic presentation. So once again, if explaining the migration, we'd say, well, here we have the source and the target of our migration. Then we introduce client access. Then we bring up our screen. And even in this one, although when I start moving commands on that screen, they'll be visible. And I can read them in the monitor in front of me, so I assume students will be able to read them. I would say, though, it might be to our advantage to make them bigger in the frame somehow. But we just want to make sure that that's as presentable as everything else, particularly if it's pertinent to the explanation. So I display, in this case, some commands and the things within the file system, the directory structures and the utilization that are related to them, and then the rsync process for the actual transfer of data. And this works very nicely because we have the instructor essentially in the foreground directly addressing the video audience, but at the same time having the concept that's being explained graphically presented in a size that's about equal to the instructor. So for explanations such as this, an explanation of the steps or an overview of the steps of migration, this would be a very appropriate frame.